Go to overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk/online therapy to get 20% off your first month of cognitive behavioural therapy, with weekly sessions online with a therapist, in addition to worksheets, a journal, meditation and yoga videos, and unlimited messaging. There's strong evidence that CBT can help people who hoard, and accessing therapy online can be affordable and accessible. Find out more and get your discount at overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk/online therapy.
Normally, being a little extra might be a bit much, but not when it comes to healthcare. That's why United Healthcare's Health Protector Guard fixed indemnity insurance plans, underwritten by Golden Rule Insurance Company, supplement your primary plan so you manage out-of-pocket costs. Learn more at uh1.com.
With LinkedIn Jobs, we tap into a network of more than 1 billion professionals to help you find quality professionals quickly and easily for any role you need. Marketing wizards? Found them.
Software engineers?
Found. That project manager I could never seem to hire? And found. LinkedIn Jobs quickly matches your roles with candidates with the right skills and experience. In fact, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Post your first job for free and get started at linkedin.com/spoken. That's linkedin.com/spoken. Terms and conditions apply.
Think of all the sleep hacks you've ever heard. You could spend years trying them all, or you could instantly transform your sleep with Boll & Branch. They make the softest, most breathable bedding you'll ever feel. And it's all 20% off. That's their best sale of the entire season. Millions of sleepers love their buttery soft sheets, airy blankets, cloud-like duvets, and so much more. And you can try all of them for 20% off with promo code BUTTERY20. So hurry to bollandbranch.com today. That's BOLL and branch.com. See site for details.
Welcome to the Overcome Compulsive Hoarding with That Hoarder podcast. I am drowning in stuff and trying to find a way out. Listen as I explore the issues and delve deep as somebody profoundly affected by hoarding disorder. Find out more, including links to subscribe to the podcast, at overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk, and follow me on Twitter at That Hoarder, and on Facebook at facebook.com/That Hoarder. So I want to talk today about something that is helping me a lot with my dehoarding. As any regular listener knows, I'm making progress, but it is so slow and it's easy to feel defeated. So making the process easier, if at all possible, should definitely be part of your goal for dehoarding your home. I call it, in my head, I call it having systems. But what I mean by systems is like policies that just always apply to certain things. So you're not caught in the paralyzing situation of trying to make a decision for every little thing you pick up. So one system might be, if food is out of date, it goes in the bin, no questions asked, no debate, no, oh yeah, but it's in a tin, so it's probably fine. No. If it's out of date, it goes in the bin. I don't care what it is. That's the system I have. And if I start going, oh yeah, but it's probably fine, it doesn't matter. I have a system and it goes in the bin. Another system I have is if I tie the top of a rubbish bag, then it's ready to go. And under 99% of circumstances, it must never be reopened. Because if I reopen it, there's the potential of going through it, going, oh yeah, but what if I want to keep that after all? No, when the top is tied, it's going out. That's a system. You might have a system of when you leave any room to go into any other room, you take something that belongs there. Doesn't matter which room you're going from or to. If you're going from the bedroom to the kitchen and you have a coffee cup in your bedroom, you take it to the kitchen. If you're going from the kitchen to your bedroom and you have some clothes that you've just had on the dryer hanging up and they're ready, you take them back up to the bedroom when you go there, that kind of thing. You might have a system that every time you leave the house, you take at least one rubbish bag with you. When I started counting how many rubbish bags left my house, I started agonizing over, but what if it's a big rubbish bag? Does that count as 2 bags? Or what if it's a small bag, but it's only half full? How do I count it all? So I just put in place a system where a bag is a bag. It doesn't matter what size, doesn't matter how full. And it balances out. Some bags are huge, some bags are tiny. They all go out. They all count as one. Now, the benefit of these systems or processes, as I said, is it removes one barrier, and that barrier is having to make decisions. And making decisions is tiring and it's difficult and it ties me up in knots. And so when some of those decisions are removed, the process is more streamlined, it's easier, and things just flow a bit better. I don't have to make a decision about out-of-date food because that decision was made some months ago when I turned it into a system. And the thing about these systems or processes is that you can put them in place about anything. You might have a system where as soon as you hear the mail land on your doormat, you go and sort it out immediately. It saves going, oh, can I be bothered? Will the mail be scary? Will there be posts I don't like? No, you have a process. As soon as you hear it, you deal with it. You might have a process around what to do with dirty dishes and when to deal with them. You may choose that no matter what happens, the sink is clear before you go to bed. Or you may choose that you have to put your washing away the day you wash it. You can have as many or as few of these systems as you like. Don't overload yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself with too many things you've got to remember. Start with a few and see how you get on with them and see what kind of systems suit your personality, suit your style of dehoarding, and go from there. There are endless possibilities, and they won't apply to complex or nuanced decisions. You probably can't have a system about childhood letters from your grandma, you know? You might want to read them all and make a decision for each one. That is absolutely fine. You can't and shouldn't have a process for every single decision you might have to make. But if there are decisions you're making repeatedly and you want to speed that up, or you want to just make it a bit easier for yourself, consider whether there's a process where A equals B with no compromise. It's worth a try. This is a massively difficult process, the whole dehoarding process. It's a huge project, and anything you can do that will take some of the mental load off yourself can only be a good thing. In just 1 second, I'll give you my top tip of the week. In the meantime, please do subscribe to the podcast, review it, 5 stars would be amazing, and share it with your friends or anyone who might be interested or who might benefit from it. It all really helps. To find out more ways to support the website, the podcast, and my overall dehoarding project, go to overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk/support. Now back to your top tip. My top tip this week is to give yourself a time limit to make a decision on whether to keep something or not. Agonizing all day over one notebook means your progress will be painfully slow. Maybe try 30 seconds, maybe try 5 minutes. I wouldn't go any longer than that because you'll be stuck. And also, we all have a way of making tasks last as long as we allocate them for. So if you have a homework assignment due in a day, you'll do it in a day. If you have 3 weeks to do it, you'll do it in 3 weeks. So if you allocate an hour to make a decision for each item, you'll probably take an hour to make a decision for each item. So I would start with 30 seconds to 5 minutes and be strict. Enforce it. Don't just say it and then don't do it. But for any given item, you can't spend any longer than that. You need sometimes to push yourself into making a decision and then stand by that decision. Okay, thank you for listening, and I will speak to you next week. Thank you for listening to the Overcome Compulsive Hoarding podcast. You can find more online at overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk. You can find me on Twitter at @thathoarder and on Facebook at Overcome Compulsive Hoarding with That Hoarder. To find out more about how you can support this podcast and the overall project, go to overcomecompulsivehoarding.co.uk/support, and do subscribe to this podcast so you make sure you don't miss any future episodes.
Now on Broadway, An Enemy of the People is a New York Times Critics' Pick. Jeremy Strong is one of the great actors of his generation, hails the Chicago Tribune. In a performance the Wall Street Journal praises as powerfully affecting and bitterly funny. Michael Imperioli sets off sparks, cheers the Hollywood Reporter. Victoria Pedretti is luminous, raves variety. From director Sam Gold and playwright Amy Herzog, An Enemy of the People is urgent, electrifying, and haunting, declares USA Today. An Enemy of the People, on Broadway through June 16th only.